All right, today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. It's this super simple but really powerful principle that helps a business not just survive, but actually thrive in one of the craziest industries out there, real estate. So, how on earth do they pull it off? Let's get into it. Okay, check this out. It all starts with this one quote from a broker named Joey Connor. Think about this. In an industry that literally pours billions of dollars into lead generation, he says this. I mean, it sounds completely impossible, right? And it makes you wonder.
Right? I mean, how is that even possible? How does a business not just get by, but actually succeed for over 20 years without buying a single lead? That's the big mystery we're going to solve today. And trust me, the answer is way simpler and, frankly, a lot more powerful than you'd probably guess.
Okay, so before we get to the solution, we've really got to understand the problem they're up against. The real estate world today, it's a noise machine. It's just this constant feeling of being completely and totally overwhelmed. Think about it. If you're an agent, you're just getting bombarded with stuff. Every single day, there's a new CRM, that's a customer relationship management tool, a new social media platform you have to be on, some new can't miss gadget that swears it'll change your life. It's this flood of so-called opportunities that just ends up being a massive distraction. So, in an environment like that, what's a broker's job? Is it to just throw more tools at their agents? Absolutely not. The real job is to be a filter. It's to cut through all that static and help people zero in on the things that actually matter, the things that will actually grow their business. And that leads us right to the antidote for all this noise and complexity. And it's funny because it's a principle that's been around forever, but for some reason, we've kind of forgotten how powerful it is in this crazy, hyper-connected world of ours. Yep, it's the KISS principle. You've probably heard it before, right? Keep it simple, stupid. It's this old design idea that basically says things just work better when you don't overcomplicate them. And as we're about to see, when you apply this to business, it's a total game changer. And let's be clear, this isn't about being lazy or stuck in the past. Not at all. It's about being really intentional and super consistent with the basics. Just like this says, when you do simplicity the right way, that's where the real magic happens. Okay, so what does keeping it simple actually look like day to day? Let's pull back the curtain and really break down the system that makes this whole never buying a lead thing actually work. Now, this next part, this might sound completely backwards. The huge secret to building a successful real estate business based on relationships is to stop talking about real estate. I know it sounds weird, but it is the absolute key to everything. So instead of focusing on deals and transactions, the entire focus shifts to these four pillars of just genuine human connection. First, you just check in, ask people how they're doing, for real. Second, you celebrate with them, the big moments, new babies, job promotions, all that good stuff. Third, and this is a big one, you show up when things are tough, a sickness in the family, a loss. And finally, the most crucial part, you do all of this consistently, without any agenda. It's about being a person first and an agent second. But here's the make or break rule for this whole thing. You absolutely cannot fake it. People have a built-in radar for this stuff. They can smell a sales tactic a mile away. If you're just checking in text feels fake, the whole thing falls apart. It has to be real. It has to be genuine. And really, the difference couldn't be clearer. You've got your fair weather friends who only pop up when they need something, when there's a deal on the table. But then you have the true professionals. They're the ones who show up all the time, through thick and thin, whether or not there's a commission check in sight.
Okay, so how do you get a whole team of agents to actually do this? How do you turn this big idea into something they practice every single day? Well, it all boils down to leadership and consistency.
Here's the advice they give their agents, and it's brilliant. They say, forget trying to master 10 different things at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe that one thing is sending 5 genuine text messages a day, or maybe it's having 2 coffee meetings a week where you're not allowed to talk about business. Whatever you pick, you just do it over and over until it becomes second nature, until it's your superpower. And what happens is this creates this amazing cycle. That intense focus, it starts to build momentum. And when you feel that momentum, when you see that what you're doing is actually working, it builds your confidence. And that confidence, that's what leads to amazing results. All right, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds nice in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at the actual, tangible results of putting people first.
The company culture is really built on two main ideas. First, recognition. We're not just talking about who sold the most. They celebrate effort, milestones, and they do it publicly so people feel seen and appreciated. And second, connection. It's not just about business meetings. It's about creating a real community through events and fundraisers. It makes people feel like they actually belong.
And if you want proof that this works, here it is. In an industry that's notorious for people coming and going, a huge number of their agents have been there for more than 10 years. 10 plus years. I mean, that's practically unheard of, and it tells you everything you need to know about their culture.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? That kind of loyalty doesn't come from having the latest CRM or the fanciest tech. It comes from trust. It comes from people feeling like you genuinely have their back. That is the real currency in this business.
And this quote really brings everything full circle. Yeah, the industry has gotten super complicated and noisy, but the business, at its heart, is still incredibly simple. It's just about people, about building trust and serving them well. You get that part right, and everything else just works. So we'll leave you with this to think about in your own world, whatever you do. In a world that is constantly screaming for more, for bigger, for more complex, what's the one simple thing you could focus on? The one fundamental thing that, if you did it with real intention and consistency, could change everything? It's a powerful question. Thanks for joining us.